Tension clung to the air like smoke as the family gathered in the dimly lit living room. The ticking clock on the wall seemed louder than usual, echoing the growing unrest in the house. Elsa stood in the center, arms folded, lips pursed in irritation. Her eyes flicked with annoyance as she stared at her father, who sat calmly on the couch. Dad, how could you decide my marriage without even asking me? I'm not a child anymore. Her voice wavered between anger and disbelief. She faced a little before stopping again. And don't even get me started on him. That Jungkook is so immature. He acts like a high scholar stuck in a grown man's body. He laughs at dumb things, plays video games all night, and wears hoodies to family dinners. How do you expect me to live with someone who doesn't even act this age? Mr. Kim remained silent for a moment, his fingers interlocked on his lap. Then, with a calm but firm voice, he answered. I have already spoken to Mr. June and finalized everything. Elsa, the wedding is tomorrow. I gave my word and I'm not going to break it. Elsa let out an exasperated laugh, throwing her hands in the air. Oh, great. So your word matters more than your daughter's life now. She spun around and stormed toward her room. I'm not doing this. Not for you, not for anyone. The loud slam of her bedroom door echoed through the silent house like thunder. Wine stood quietly in the corner, her hands clasped in front of her. Her lips parted slightly as if she wanted to say something, but no words came out. She just watched like always, watching everything fall apart from the sidelines. The next morning, the house was unusually quiet, too quiet. Mr. Kim stood near the kitchen counter, his phone pressed to his ear as he spoke to someone about the final wedding arrangements. His voice was low, but his steps were restless. Suddenly, a loud gasp followed by hurried footsteps echoed from upstairs. Mrs. Kim came running down the staircase, her face pale, hair disheveled, her eyes wide with panic. She's gone. Elsa is not in her room. Mr. Kim's conversation on the phone came to a screeching halt. What? Mom, maybe she's in the bathroom or getting fresh air. Don't panic. I checked everywhere the bathroom, the garden, even the rooftop. Her suitcase is missing. Her wardrobe is empty. She's gone wild. Tears burst from her mother's eyes as she gripped the railing for support. What will we do now? How will we show our face to anyone? That girl, she's ruined everything. Our name, our reputation, it's all destroyed. Just then, Mr. Kim walked toward them slowly, the color draining from his face as he processed the words. His shoulders sank, and for the first time, Wine saw his eyes glisten. Dad, what should we do? Her voice was small, afraid. She looked at him, her heart breaking at the sight of her once strong father appearing so helpless. He looked at her long and hard, then his lips trembled slightly before he finally spoke. Wine, I have never asked you for anything in your life. She blinked, unsure where this was going. Her fingers clutched the edge of her shirt nervously. But today, I need you to listen to me. Will you obey your father? Yes, just tell me what to do. Her heart was pounding, something inside her already fearing the next verse. Will you marry him? A silence dropped over the room like a blanket. One's breath hissed in her throat, her eyes widened as the words hung in the air. She stared at him in shock, unable to believe what she had just heard. What? She slowly turned her head toward her mother, who was now staring at her with a mix of desperation and hope. Mr. Kim took a deep breath and stepped closer. I know it's sudden, I know it's unfair, but the Jones are already on the way. If this wedding doesn't happen today, we will lose more than just respect. We will lose everything. One's heart pounded painfully in her chest, her throat felt dry. Everything inside her screamed to say no, but then she looked at her mother, who was sobbing silently, and her father, whose eyes held nothing but pleading. She swallowed the lump in her throat and slowly nodded. I'll do it. Mr. John and Mr. Kim had been inseparable since middle school. Best friends who stuck together through thick and thin, while Mr. John climbed the ladder of success and built an empire. Mr. Kim struggled to support his family, especially after losing his business. Now he worked in a small restaurant just to keep food on the table. Even then, Mr. Jones never let status get in the way of friendship. He helped Mr. Kim quietly, paid off medical bills, school fees, and even offered this wedding proposal as a way to strengthen their bond. Elsa, their eldest daughter, had always been obsessed with luxury, designer clothes, social media, and dreams of marrying a rich guy. The moment she discovered her groom was John Jungkook, a man rumored to be rich but ridiculous, handsome but immature. She panicked because Jungkook wasn't like the cool CEOs she read about in romance novels. He was loud, wore oversized hoodies, collected plush toys, and spoke like a little boy trapped in a man's body. So she ran, and now one was about to marry him. The ceremony had just ended. As you stepped back slightly, the sound of applause gently faded into the background. You turned your head and looked at him, John Jungkook, and for a moment, time froze. He stood tall beside you, his sharp jawline catching the golden glow of the chandelier lights. He wore a custom tailored black tuxedo, the blazer glimmering faintly with silver detailing along the collar. A magic black satin bow tie sat neatly around his neck, and a white rose was pinned to his lapel, symbolizing purity and new beginnings. His hair was parted slightly to one side, soft brown waves framing his forehead. His lips were curved into a lazy boyish smirk as he adjusted his cuffs, oozing confidence without even trying. You couldn't stop staring. Yu, on the other hand, looked like a walking dream. A delicate ivory gown hugged your curves, embroidered with tiny pearls and lace trailing all the way down to the floor. The veil gently cascaded down your back, and your makeup was soft, rosy cheeks, glossy lips, and nervous eyes that held a thousand thoughts. And then he smiled. Not a playful grin, not a mocking smirk, just a soft, genuine smile. You blinked, catch off guard. Your lips moved on their own, forming a weak, polite smile in return, but your stomach twisted with nerves. Why did that smile feel so warm? I thought he was supposed to be immature. After everything ended, the guests began to leave, and your father gave your hand a final reassuring squeeze. The next thing you knew, you were seated in the back of a luxurious black car next to Jungkook. The ride was quiet. You kept glancing at him from the corner of your eye, Your hands folded neatly in your lap, he just stared out the window, chewing a piece of gum casually as if he had not just gotten married. Finally, the car pulled into a long driveway, and your eyes widened as the massive John mansion came into view. It looked like something out of a royal film, grand white pillars, sprawling gardens, huge windows, and golden lights glowing from every corner. The moment you stepped out of the car, the air itself felt different, richer, colder. The main entrance opened, and a line of maids and butlers stood neatly on either side of the red carpet. As you entered, they bowed deeply. You stood frozen, eyes wide, clutching the ends of your gown nervously, and then his hand. Jungkook placed his hand firmly around your waist, pulling you closer. The sudden touch made your heart jolt in surprise. His deep voice echoed through the grand hallway, cold and commanding. Look, everyone, this is Wine, my wife. You turned your head slightly, shocked by the sudden announcement. The staff raised their heads and looked at you respectfully. He tightened his grip a little around your waist, and if any one of you tries to disobey her, you will face consequences. Understand? His voice was low, deadly calm, and chilling. Everyone bowed again quickly, murmuring their agreement. Your eyes widened in disbelief. What the hell? Isn't he supposed to be mature and childish? Why is he acting so normal, so serious? You slowly turned your head, looking up at him. There was no playful grin on his face now, just a straight, unreadable expression. But his voice, that voice, God, that deep voice, it doesn't match his goofy image at all. Your heart was thudding in your chest as he leaned slightly toward your ear and whispered, Don't worry, princess, I may look childish, but I never play when it comes to what's mine. Your eyes snapped toward him again, stunned. He just smirked and walked ahead, hands in his pockets like nothing happened. You stood there stunned, completely unsure of what you just got yourself into. You slowly stepped into the large bedroom, your heels clicking against the polished floor. It was quite too quiet. The soft glow of a lamp lit up one side of the room, casting warm shadows across the modern decor. As your eyes wandered, something caught your attention. A thick bundle of cash lay neatly placed on the bedside table. Your brows furrowed slightly. You hesitated before walking over, curiosity taking over. You picked it up gently, your fingers brushing against the crisp notes. Why is this here? So much money. Just then click. The door creaked open and you jumped slightly. Jungkook walked in lazily, pushing the door shut behind him. He looked around, then spotted you holding the cash. His eyes widened. Oh, money, is that yours? You quickly shook your head, placing the bundle back. It's not mine. He walked over, squinting at the notes. But I don't remember keeping it here, and no maid is allowed in this room. Maybe it's yours. You look down, a little nervous, fingers fit getting with the edge of your dress. There is so much money, but no, it's not right. My parents never taught me to keep what isn't mine. You picked up the cash again and gently handed it toward him. Here, take it. I found it on the table, but it doesn't belong to me. I don't own it. Jungkook paused, blinking at you. His childish expression slowly faded into something more serious. He took the money from your hands quietly. Oh, okay. He stood there looking at you as if you just solved a puzzle he couldn't figure out. She's really honest. He didn't even hesitate. A soft smile tugged at the corner of his lips. You turned away, ready to freshen up and grab your nightwear from your bag. But as you looked around for the bathroom, you noticed Jungkook still standing there awkwardly near the door. Jungkook, he looked up quickly. Come here. He walked over to you like a kid being called by his teacher, his step soft, eyes wide. Come with me. You led him to the large walk-in closet. The scent of his calling lingered in the air. You carefully opened one of the drawers and found his clothes neatly folded. You pulled out a sleeveless black shirt and a pair of soft cotton shorts. Turning back toward him, you held them out. Here, wear these before sleeping, okay? Jungkook looked at the clothes, then at you, and smiled. A genuine shy smile. Okay. He took the cloth from your hands, his fingertips brushing yours for a second. You quickly looked away, heart fluttering unexpectedly. Grabbing your own clothes, you quietly stepped into the bathroom. Behind you, Jungkook stood in the same spot, still holding the clothes, still smiling to himself. She's kinda cute. You turned your side on the soft bed, your gaze falling on Jungkook's sleeping face. His cheeks were slightly puffed, his lips parted as he breathed steadily. His hair was messy, strands falling over his eyes as he clutched his pillow close like a child. You couldn't help but smile faintly. Is he really immature or just pretending to be? Sometimes he acted like a complete baby, pouting, winning over food, but sometimes his voice would deepen. His posture would straighten and he would speak like a man who carried something heavy on his shoulders. Maybe he's not as bad as Elsa thought. She ran away without even trying. But maybe I can fix this. Your hand moved on his own, fingers gently brushing his cheek. His skin was warm, soft. Without a second thought, you leaned in and placed a soft kiss on his forehead. Good night, Jungkook. You close your eyes, unseen by you. His eyes slowly fluttered open. A soft smile tugged at the corner of his lips as he watched her smile. She's different. Then he closed his eyes and drifted to sleep with that smile still lingering. The next morning, the smell of fresh food lingered in the air. You entered the dining room just as a small scene unfolded. Ew, I don't want to eat this. But, sir, Mr. Jones strictly ordered us to give you boiled vegetables and oats with almond milk for breakfast. It's for your health. Chunka pushed the plate away like a grumpy toddler. I said I won't eat it. You stepped closer, blinking at the scene. What's going on? Chunka turned to you dramatically. Why? She's forcing me to eat this yucky stuff. I don't want it. You glanced at the maid who looked helpless. He sighed softly and knelt a bit beside him like calming a child. Okay, tell me what you want to eat, hmm? He perked up instantly, eyes wide and sparkling. Pancakes with honey. Pretty please, no one ever makes them for me. Why not? You stood and headed to the kitchen, rolling up your sleeves. Ma'am, please, let us do this. No, it's okay, I will make it for him. You carefully flipped the golden pancakes on the pan, the sweet aroma filling the space. You poured honey and added fresh orange juice to the tray. When you returned, Jungkook's face lit up like a child who just saw his favorite candy. So tasty, he smiled so widely, syrup sticking to the corner of his lip. You handed him a napkin and smiled back. 1 week later, please come with me today, please. He had been asking you for 3 days straight. You kept saying no, but today he declared he won't eat anything unless you came. You sighed in defeat. Fine, let's go. His fist pumped like a victory skit. In Jungkook's office, you sat beside Jungkook in his luxurious modern office. The walls were glass, the furniture sleek, black, and still. He was happily humming while checking something on his iPad, stealing glances at you every now and then. Happy now? He grinned like a child who got his favorite toy. Very. You finally came. Suddenly, a sharp knock on the door broke the peaceful vibe. Before Chongo could answer, the door swung open. A man walked in confidently, wearing a smudge expression and a fitted suit. His eyes roamed the room and then landed on you. You shifted comfortably under his intense gaze. Oh, hello, gorgeous. Didn't know Jungkook finally upgraded his taste. Jungkook froze mid scroll, the iPad lowered slowly in his hands. His eyes, which were full of sunshine a second ago, now turned sharp like blades. What did you just say? Andrew chuckled, clearly unaware of the storm he was inviting. Chill, man. I'm just saying she's stunning. Never thought you would bring someone so delicious to the office. You felt Jungkook's body tense beside you. Then, without a word, he stood up. Each step he took toward Andrew echoed in the silent room like thunder. He stopped a few feet away. Eyes dark, voice ice cold. Andrew, leave. Come on, it was just a joke. I said get out now. The authority in his voice was so sharp that Andrew gulped visibly and nodded. Okay, okay, relax. As Andrew turned to leave, Chunko called out one last time. And one more thing, if I ever catch you looking at my wife like that again, you will walk out of this company with broken eyes and no job. Andrew slammed the door behind him in fear. The room fell quiet again. You blinked, stunned, your heartbeat racing. Chunk turned around slowly. His gaze was locked onto you now. Not soft, not playful, but something deeper. Before you could process, he walked straight to you. He took a step back, but your back hit the edge of his desk. Jungkook, he didn't answer. His hand suddenly came up, placing one palm on the desk beside your waist and the other on the opposite side, trapping you. His face was close, too close, his body towered over yours, and his scent, woody, intense, wrapped around you. You swallowed hard. You don't look immature right now. His eyes stayed fixed on yours. That's because I'm not. He leaned closer, lips brushing against your ear. I only acted immature to see if you would judge me. Use me, I'll set it. She was after my money, my name, but you gave me back money that wasn't even yours. You made pancakes for me. You talked to me like I mattered. You looked into his eyes, breathing uneven. But how did you know Elsa ran away? He smirked, but not his usual shy smile. No, this one was dangerous, confident, almost arrogant. Because I let her run. I saw the way she flinched when she read the family name. She thought I was stupid, but I knew. He leaned in even more, his lips brushing against yours now. I needed someone honest, someone pure, someone who would care for me, not my money. Your lips parted in shock, and before you could say anything, he kissed you. His lips crashed onto yours with urgency, but it wasn't harsh. It was possessive, hungry, like he was claiming what was his. His hands gripped the desk tighter as his body leaned closer to yours, almost like he wanted to melt into you. Your eyes widened for a second, then fluttered closed as your hands instinctively clutched his shirt. He pulled away slowly, breathed slightly heavy, his eyes still burning into yours. Your mind wine just remembered that. You nodded slightly, still breathless, lips tingling from the kiss. What just happened?